Hey everybody, what's up? It's Joel, aka The Daily Guru, and it's time for another edition of Something Old, Something New. Today for Something Old, I want to go way back to one of my all-time favorites. It's 1959 and John Lee Hooker's I'm John Lee Hooker. Though he was far from the first bluesman, John Lee Hooker plays that style like nobody else, and to this day, nobody comes close to his boogie blues. The album I'm John Lee Hooker is basically a collection of songs that he recorded throughout the 1950s when he was performing under the nickname The Hook, and this is a perfect representation of his unique style that blended a bit of the Chicago-style blues with the Detroit-style blues, resulting in something completely unique. While there are a few tracks on this album that feature a more formal rhythm section, a majority of the songs are nothing but John Lee Hooker and his guitar with his foot stomping out the rhythm perfectly. It's that raw, authentic feel of just hearing that foot stomp and that lone guitar that make these songs so great and remind you that it doesn't take much to make an amazing song. But at the same time, it's the fact that that groove, that boogie, is so strong that makes these tracks outright addictive. And you can easily cite I'm John Lee Hooker as one of the most pivotal records in the shift from blues and R&B to the rock and roll sound. Furthermore, you can debate endlessly whether it's his distinctive guitar tone or his unmistakable voice that's the most distinctive, and whether he's talking about love, loss, or just pure lust. It's that attitude and that mood that he brings that makes him one of a kind. Over the decades, everyone from The Doors to Ray Charles to Elvis Costello have given formal musical nods to John Lee Hooker, and his unique style of blues is absolutely essential to anybody who enjoys any form of music. So if somehow you don't have a large amount of John Lee Hooker music in your collection, you need to change that right now. Thank me later. Today for something new, I want to check out the brand new album from the Gaslight Anthem, and it's called Handwritten. Some like to push this band into the idea of them being punk, while others like to call them more of a roots-based rock band, and some of them like to say they're somewhere in between those two. Yet all across Handwritten, one thing becomes very clear, and that's that the Gaslight Anthem have finally found exactly what their sound is, and it's unlike anybody else. When you compare this record to their earlier records, you can see those albums as them almost trying to fit those descriptions that were put upon them, where Handwritten seems to just flow effortlessly and really speak to the strengths of each member of the band. And there's no question, this is not a punk record by any stretch of the imagination, and this is not a roots rock record any more than that. While many people want to sell themselves short and just use those descriptions because it might be easier, it's just not true. As the Gaslight Anthem prove on this album, that they're as straightforward a rock and roll outfit as any other band on the planet. And in this case, that is not a bad thing at all. Every single track has an excellent amount of energy and a great drive, and it's sure to appeal to a much wider range than they ever did before, but at the same time, they managed to stay far away from any space that might alienate any of their previous fans. It's abundantly clear that most of these songs have been perfectly tailored to be played in a live setting, as you can easily hear a number of the lines being sung so loud by massive audiences, and there's no question that this approach is one of the keys not only to the Gaslight Anthem, but the current generation of rock artists. The album is perfectly mixed, which is something a lot of bands have been stumbling over lately. There's also a great balance in the style of songs that they can play, and each member of the band gets their own time to shine. And at the same time, those brutally honest lyrics and heartfelt delivery that have become par for the course of the Gaslight Anthem sound as good as ever. And there's just an overall focus on Handwritten that you haven't seen previously from this group. So when it comes down to it, if you're a fan of good, original, heartfelt, straightforward rock and roll with absolutely no pretension, you're going to like this record. And on the buy it or borrow it, there's no question. This is a solid buy it. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click subscribe, leave a comment, click like, whatever you want to do. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr right here, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.